Hey, what's up everyone? In this video, we're going to go over the Git Stash command. We're going to go over what stashing means. We're going to go over how to stash your changes, how to list your stash changes, how to show details on a specific stash, how to delete specific stash, and how to apply your stash changes. All right, let's get started. All right, so stashing is basically used when you want to set your changes off to the side so that you can then switch over to another branch and do something else. All right, so let's say that you're making changes, right? Those changes are going to be in the working directory or in the staging area. You can't just switch over to another branch while your changes are just floating around there. Git is actually going to complain, right? Git is going to be like, hey, I know you want to switch over to another branch, but I can't have your changes just floating around here. I need you to commit them first. But the problem is that, sometimes we're not ready to commit all of our changes just yet. Sometimes we just want to put them off to the side so that we can go to another branch and do something else. And that's when we can use this git stash command. All right, so let's go over a demo on how to stash our changes. Now, a little background info here. I have a folder called My Project, and inside I have a file called My Code. Now, the file is completely empty, and I have two branches here. I have the master branch, and I have another one here called feature/fruit, which is based off the master branch. Okay. Now, notice how I'm in the master branch right now. And if I do git log to see all of our commits, I just have this one commit here. Okay. If I switch over to this feature/fruit branch, and then I do git log, you'll see that I also just have one commit. In fact, it's the same commit from the master branch. Okay. So I will open this file here, and I'm going to type in, these are my favorite fruit. Okay, I'll go ahead and save that. And if I do git status, you'll see that it has detected my changes, right? And notice how I'm in the feature/fruit branch. Okay, so we made our changes. Now let's pretend that we want to switch over to the master branch. Now, if we do git checkout master, if we try to switch over, it should complain, right? That's what I mentioned earlier. But you'll see that if I press enter, it it does switch over to the master branch in this case. The reason it's not complaining is because both the feature/fruit branch and the master branch have the same commits. Okay, so in order for Git to complain, one of the branches has to be ahead by at least one commit. Okay, so let's go back to the feature/fruit branch. Okay, so now we're back in the feature/fruit branch, and we're going to go ahead and commit these changes. Now remember, these changes have not gone anywhere. Okay, they're still here. So let's go ahead and add those to the staging area, and we'll commit those changes. So this, we'll call it add fruit title. Okay. All right, so we created one commit. Now if we do git log, you'll see that we have two commits now. First commit and add fruit title commit. So feature/fruit has two commits, while the master branch only has this one. Okay. All right, so now let's add another change. You'll see that since we just did a commit just now, our working directory and staging area are clean. So let's add another change. Here we'll type in coconut, and then we'll save. Okay. Now if we do git status, The change is there, right? Same thing as before. And now we're going to try to switch over to the master branch. We press enter, and now it's going to complain, right? It says, your local changes to the following files would be overwritten by checkout. Please commit your changes or stash them before you switch branches. Okay, so to stash these changes, okay, remember this one here is already part of a commit. This one's already been committed, but this one has not yet been committed, and we don't want to commit it. So we want to stash these changes, and we do that by typing git stash, and we press enter. Okay. It says here saved working directory and index state WIP, which stands for work in progress. Okay. On fruit index ID, then here it says add fruit title. That's basically the last commit for this feature slash fruit branch. Okay. All right. So now that we stashed our changes, if we refresh the file, you'll see that the change is no longer here. Okay. It no longer says coconuts. And the reason for that is because that change has been stashed. All right, so as you can see, it's kind of hard to tell how many stash changes you have, right? Because you could just type in git stash plenty of times, but if you don't know how many stash changes you have available, then things can get a little confusing. So that's why we have this command called git stash list. So if we press enter on that, you'll see that we're supposed to be getting a list here. Okay, right now we only have one, and the reason for that is because we only have one stashed set of changes. Okay, which is this one. Remember when I typed in coconut here and then we stashed it? Well, that's this. Okay, let's go ahead and just add another item to the stashed list. So here I will type in. So these are my favorite fruit and vegetables. Okay. So we'll go ahead and save that. Git will pick up those changes. You see those changes are now floating around here in the working directory. All right, so let's go ahead and stash those changes. We simply type in git stash. All right, now if we do git stash list, you'll see that the list has grown by one item. Now the way it works is it's actually adding things on top. So this one here was when I typed in coconuts, and this one here was when I added this here and vegetables. All right, so since we stashed those two changes, you'll see that if I refresh the file, it'll basically go back to the last commit, right? This was on the last commit, so we're not going to see these two stash changes. We're not going to see coconuts, and we're not going to see and vegetables on here. Those are saved here in this list. Okay, but it's sort of hard to tell what is in each item of the stashed list. So luckily there is a command that lets you sort of get a sneak peek at what each of these items contains. And that command is git stash show dash p and then stash at, and then you specify the index of which one you want to see. So remember, this one here is the one where I typed in coconuts, and this one here was when I typed in and vegetables. And I'll prove that to you guys by typing in one here. Press enter, and you'll see that in red, it's the red is basically what we have now, okay? And the green is what's saved inside of this stashed item here, okay? And if we run that again, but this time with index 0, this one here, you'll see that it shows us what we have now, which is this. These are my favorite fruit. And it shows you what's in index 0, which is what we specified, right? Which is this one. These are my favorite fruit and vegetables. Okay, so you can basically use that command to refresh your memory as to what's saved where. All right, sometimes this stack of stashed items can grow really long. And, sometimes we stash things that we probably didn't really mean to stash in the first place. And we want to delete some of these stashed items. Luckily, there is a command for that. So let's go ahead and type in git stash list just to remind everybody of the two items here that we have. Okay. Now, if you remember, this one here is when I typed in coconuts, and this one here is when I typed in and vegetables here in the title. Now, and vegetables doesn't really make a whole lot of sense considering that this branch is called feature slash fruit, right? So let's go ahead and delete this item here. We do that by typing git stash, then drop, and then we type in stash at, and we specify which one we want to get rid of. Do we want to get rid of this one or this one? Okay, we want to get rid of the one that says and vegetables. So that's this one here at index 0. So we type in 0, we press enter. Okay, and it says drop stash at 0. And if we do git stash list again, you'll see that we now only have one item. Okay, now notice how now this one is titled 0. And the reason for that is because we got rid of this one, okay? So this one here at the bottom gets pushed up. So now the index for this one changes from 1 to 0. All right, so we only have one stashed item here, okay, which is this one. And this is the one that says coconuts. So the question is, how do we apply that change back to our file? Now there's two ways of doing it. We can type in git stash pop, okay? And again, if you're familiar with how stack data structure works, when you use pop, it basically just grabs the item up on top and applies it. Okay, so if this stashed list was longer, basically it'll just grab the one on top and it'll apply it to the files. Okay. Now we could do that, or we can type in git stash apply, okay, and then stash at, and then we specify the index of the stashed item. So here we only really have one, right? It's just this one. So we would type in 0 and then press enter. And now you'll see that those changes are now in the working directory, okay? And if we refresh our file here, you'll see that now it says coconut, okay? And we can go ahead and add those changes to the staging area, okay? And we can commit those changes, add coconut, press enter, okay? And then we do git log, and you see that we now have 3 commits on this feature slash fruit branch, okay? And that's how you apply your changes back to your files. Well, that is all for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks.